Hey guys, welcome back. So on the subject of filters, I want to talk you through some of the filters that I've got set up on a site called Finviz. That's finviz.com. Now this is a good way, again, as a trader, whether you're a swing trader or a day trader, of filtering out the trades or the stocks that you want to get involved in the US market. I don't think there's a UK section at the moment. And that's one of the benefits of the US actually, is that you do have all these free filtering tools. But anyway, here's just some ideas. So let's say you're day trading. Some of the filters that I've got, let's have a look on here. And by the way, this is a free thing. You can pay for a small upgrade, but in my experience you don't need to do this. And then you can literally filter out the stocks that you want, take a list, put them into your platform, whether that's InterTrader or any other platform, and then once they're in your watch list, you can then obviously drag them in for your order ticket or whatever. So some of the things that I do, I've got some grouped up into things like cybersecurity, social stocks, Chinese social stocks, Chinese tech stocks. These are things that I did look at before, but I don't look at so much anymore. Again, this is kind of a broad filter where I used to say, listen, these things are shifting. I want to be involved when things are shifting. So let me take some time, do some out of market homework, put together a group of all these stocks, put them in a little basket, import them into my platform or leave them in Finviz, whatever, and I can see how the broad sector is going. I can keep an eye on what momentum is doing. I can get a feel for them, and I can trade them a little bit more actively and more profitably than I would be able to if I was just going in blind. But another thing that I do just based on price action is something like this: a down 5% from open all. So I'm basically filtering out all the stocks that have gapped down and are now down 5% from the open. So in other words, that's a lot different. So we've got a couple of filters here we can use. The gap, that's the close. There's a gap here, that's just your traditional gaps. That's from close here to open. Or what I've got here is we've moved from the open. So we've moved wherever we've gapped to. This is the open price here. We have moved 5% down. In other words, we are in a downtrend environment. So that is a really good way of me filtering out things that I want to get involved in today. Perhaps I want to get involved in tomorrow, or even I just want to see what the hell is going on out there. So at the moment I can see, look, I've got great stocks coming up here. This is a big trading stock, this Momo internet software stock. That's down 6%. I wouldn't have always flagged that up. Another one here, another one here. We can go through them, but you can see how it's drawing my attention to the stocks that I want to get involved in. Look at this bad boy here, this Bristow Group. Who knows whether it's earnings or not? I can click on it and I can go a little bit deeper and see exactly what's going on. Yeah, it's earnings, it looks like earnings, but it's highlighting something that's not just earnings, because just earnings isn't good enough for me. I want to know stuff that's moving. It's highlighting stuff that is moving. And again, I can put a volume filter on it as well, but I've got it I think I've got it from high market cap to low market cap or something like that. But you can kind of change the way the order is, whether it's based on volume or not. And obviously if you're not filtering on volume, you're going to get some small cap stocks in there which you may not want. So another thing that I have is I think I've got them actually filtered from market cap and big market cap and small market cap. Another one is down 5% and closed positive. Now this is very rarely flags up stuff. But it's a good one. So what am I actually asking the filter here? I'm basically saying, listen, I want to know if something has gapped up or down. Let me get a drawing pen out here. I want to know if something has gapped. So let's say that's the close here. It's gapped up 5%, okay? And then at the end of the day, it closes negative. So in other words, we've got an instant, you can probably see exactly where I'm going with this. We've basically got instantly a change in intraday sentiment. Got a gap up and it's undone all of the gap and it's closed negative. Now listen, I've already got something here. Got this Dana Shipping, which I know is a bit of a dog stock, but it's a real bulletin board. Punters play this thing, swinging around. But occasionally it flags up some thicker stuff that really want to get involved in that you wouldn't otherwise watch. If Netflix had earnings gapped up 5% and closed negative, you can be sure that people are going to be all over that thing the next day. So it is another kind of thing that you would use. Let's look at what else I've got in here. Again, these are mine. You can kind of make your own things up. Top losers, top gainers, earnings today, earnings yesterday, low float, high short. That's another one. Again, there's not a lot in this one because I think I've been adjusting this recently. What else have we got that we can look at? Hopefully it's going to bring up stuff. Earnings today, broad filter. earnings coming up in the week, broad filter. This is kind of, you can do whatever you want. This is the point here. I'm not trying to, load my filters onto you, but the point is you can say to yourself, listen, and the way to work back from this is to say, listen, what do I want to achieve from this filter? What is the perfect stock that I want to be presenting myself? What's the perfect future? What's the perfect commodity? What's the perfect looking chart that I look at and go, yes, I want to be involved in that regardless, win or lose. That's my sort of thing. And then you take a step back and you say, well, I need to have good range. So you go on here and you select the range criteria. You click on all and you go, yeah, I want to see a decent range, and somewhere along here is range, average, true range. Great, that'll do. Click on that. You also want to say something like it's got to have a decent market cap. I don't want any stuff in the small cap indexes. So get rid of those. And then you might say, listen, I want it to be very, very high in the year's range. So you can start to put in things like 52-week range. Here we are, 52-week range. You can say, listen, it's right at the high, or it's just below the high, or it's just below the low, whatever. And then you can kind of back to your perfect chart, visualize it, and then present it to you. Perfect for swing trading when you want to just get involved in stuff on a certain criteria. Perfect for day trading when you want to be presented with a list of stocks that are matching your criteria, that you can then eyeball and go through and say, hey, this is exactly what I want to trade, or this is exactly what I don't want to trade. It just is a really good way of keeping yourself filtered. Again, what it does is it stops you looking too broad, it narrows your focus, and yes, you're going to miss stuff elsewhere, but if you're specifically trading stocks, for example, this is the kind of thing that you want to be involved in. You either want to be involved in a basket of stocks that you know and love very, very well, or you want to have stocks presented to you as if you were a hedge fund manager, for example. Hey, there's a stock that you want to be getting involved in. Here's an idea that then you can look yourself and either dismiss or look a little bit deeper. So that's a way of doing it. Again, it's finviz.com. You can use stuff on InterTrader as well. Put them in there, or whatever platform you happen to be using, and just try and give yourself a little bit of a filter. Use a filter, it will help you loads, keeps you out of losing trades, keeps you more aligned with your winning trades, keeps the emotional capital in check so you're not chasing a tail all the time, keeps you away from the screen a little bit as well if you're a day trader, so that you're not always constantly searching and sitting here in front of the screen. You're refreshed, you come back, you can set alerts, whatever. And also from a swing trading perspective, you're not constantly scanning through things. You can get filters that should present to you at least the very best ideas. Sure, some are going to slip through the net, but it's going to keep you on the right side of the market the majority of the time.